What up, home team fam? It is your boy Big Easy. Happy Monday. That's right. It's Monday. Yo, stretch. Who needs a weekend? Bring on another Monday. Listen, guys, I hope y'all had an excellent weekend. It was an eventful weekend, especially over here, man. So, like we always do about this time, we are here to bring you some value. We're here to bring you some great content that's going to help your business grow exponentially. These are the times where you should be perfecting your craft. We've been talking about it already for weeks ad nauseum about perfecting your craft. What a better way than to learn the housing buying process. So we already had episode 1, which was our appraisal, right? Which was our title agent, right? Today we got a special one for you, right? Today is going to be all about credit repair, education around credit. We got the sports credit advisor pretty much on with us today. He's a friend of mine. He's a president of the Mortgage Bankers Association. Chris, what up?
Good morning. Good morning. How's everything, Big Easy?
Man, everything is great. Everything is great. How about you? How's everything with you?
Doing well, my brother. I'm so honored to be part of this show with you. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Oh man, come on, stop it. Listen, a part of what we do, right, has a lot to do with credit, right? So, with Chris and I have been friends for many years now. When I tell you sports credit advisor, it really means sports credit advisor. Like literally, Chris is the credit advisor for athletes. And that is where I'm going to start. You know why, man? Because that's a fun part, bro. I know you were talking to me about your kids and everything being bored walking the sidelines. I'll tell you right now, I would
Yeah.
never get bored of that. Which is awesome. But man, let me ask you something. I know that you're in front of athletes, right? They invite
Yep.
you to their meetings, they invite you, to their gatherings. And I know that there's coaches, veteran football players, everybody that's trying to, I want to say, educate the rookies, educate the athletes on kind of like what they're going to go through. It's a lot of money involved here, man. Sticking with the NFL, because I know that's pretty much where you're at. What do you find is like the hot topic amongst those athletes?
The hot topic amongst the athletes now, Big Easy, is I want to have a very high credit score. They're really focusing on that. And the reason why is that they understand that everything's going to be based on those three numbers. The higher the credit score, the more leverage they're going to have. I remember when that show Broke came out, it actually opened up a lot of the eyes for the athletes and for the NFL. So after that, Big Easy, every year I go to NFL teams. And right now we're honored to say that we represent 16 of them. And every year we see the credit scores of these gentlemen, of these young professionals, going higher and higher and higher. Like I'm there before they even get a paycheck. I run a credit report and I'm like, holy smokes, like you guys are doing well. Like they're being prepared. Like I'll say the Jacksonville Jaguars, they had about 29 rookies. I would say more than half had a 700 credit score. Yeah, it was crazy. And I remember when I first started doing the credit advising for the NFL, it was one of the years that the Carolina Panthers went to the Super Bowl. And I told Coach Ron Rivera that year, I'm like, you have a special group here. He's like, why? I'm like, out of all the teams that I've gone to, this team here has the highest credit score for the rookies. So it also translates. It's like, they were asking me, how does that translate? I'm like, if I have less things to worry about, and remember, finances is a big, big item to worry about. If I have less of these negative items that I have to worry about, I could concentrate more. I could concentrate more at work. I could concentrate more with my family. Or if you're an athlete, you could concentrate more on your craft to win. And that year, Big Easy, the Panthers went to the Super Bowl.
That's freaking awesome.
So, yep, it's the last four Super Bowl winning teams we represent. So there's a big correlation about finances, financial literacy, and credit literacy, when it comes to success.
Do you find that most of them actually because I mean, dude, we're talking about millions of dollars, right? So for me, I'm just curious. Do you find that most of them use the cash that they get paid, or they actually use their credit?
So it's a tug of war with that because a lot of them come from humble beginnings, like you and I, you know. So it's like I don't want to use credit because credit for them and a lot for us is like a bad word, right? Because credit goes to debt, right? So if you're not educated with that word credit, you automatically start thinking debt. You start thinking I'm going to get into trouble. So a lot of them will still buy some things with their cash, but they know that their cash is not building statistics. And that's the way I frame it to them. You're here because the team loved your college statistics. You need to continue to create statistics, but for your finances. And the only way you can create that is by utilizing your credit, utilizing your strength, buying something, paying it off, buying something, paying it off. Don't overbuy. So one of the phrases that I leave them with is that if you cannot buy a object twice, you cannot afford it. So if the automobile you're trying to buy is $75,000 and you are stretching to buy the automobile, you cannot afford it. You can buy it, but you can't afford it. So I leave them with those little nuggets. Like I'm not saying that you cannot splurge and treat yourself, but don't overdo it to a point that you're gonna go broke because of it.
Man, I can spend all day talking about athletes, bro. That's it, especially the NFL, man. It's right around the corner. I'm excited, man. But all right, so we know a lot of credit repair agencies. We know a lot of credit repair guys. Besides the kind of sports and athletic background, right? Like, what's Chris's mojo? What sets Chris aside from everybody else that's saying that they can do credit repair? It sounds to me like you're more financial literacy education.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have 23 years of experience, 23 years in this business, in the credit business. And it's been an evolution, right? We started with simple tasks and then more elaborate, and up and up. One of the things that makes me totally different, makes us totally different, is the referral sources. So we only get referred. So our referral source are mortgage professionals like you, Big Easy, realtors, business bankers, and financial advisors and CPAs. We are looking at individuals that says, you know what? These three numbers really mean something. Because if your credit score is not high, it's not a high credit score, it's not a good credit score, you're overpaying for items. So the United States of America has done a great job, Big Easy, in just brainwashing us, saying, hey, you're approved. And we're like, yes. What interest rate? We don't care. We're approved. So people are living day by day, getting items, obtaining items that they cannot afford at a rate that they cannot afford, but they get that a dopamine hit saying, I am wanted, I am approved. And by doing that, your brain is being tricked to give money away. See, imagine, Big Easy, you buy something and you're getting charged 14% interest rate on an automobile loan. You're happy because you got a new car, but you're training your brain to always give money away, to overpay. How is our community? How is our society? How are we going to be better if our brains already been brainwashed from the go?
I hear
And
that,
that's what makes us different, right? We don't want to put a
man.
band-aid. We don't want to put a band-aid, Big Easy. We want to fix the problems. We really want to identify problems and bring them solutions, rapid solutions, but solutions that are going to stick around.
Dude, it's crazy, man. Because at least for and I don't want to date ourselves, right? But we always say the same thing, man. In life, even talking in circles with our friends and with our colleagues, it's like, man, we wish they had that financial literacy piece, in the schooling system. In the schooling system, man. I went. Everybody knows my background. I started working at Wells Fargo as a banker in FIU, the college. Man, so surprised on how they don't know what how to manage a bank statement. They don't know what a credit card is, what it does for you. And like you said, man, it's almost like a brainwashing thing, like the hamster wheel. We've all been trained a certain way. People like you help people get off of that hamster.
Well, only the people that want to get off the hamster wheel, Big Easy. Only the people that want to get off. Because what happens is that if the United States of America puts in a financial literacy program, it will hurt their business. We're in a debt society, brother. I'll give you some fun facts. In 1 month, from June to July, our debt increased by $276 billion in 1 month. Why? Because we're spending. We are a debt society. So that's how they make money, because now they charge you interest rate on those debt. So if they teach you financial literacy, it's going against their own business plan. All those big high rises that you have, guess who pays for them? We do.
Yep.
Because we're
Yep.
living above our means, brother. It's crazy. It's automobile payments are through the roof, and more here in Miami.
That's the biggest handcuff, right? Like the automobile payments. Would you say that that's probably the biggest handcuff? How it really hurts families in the beginning?
Well, yes, but we need an automobile. But the thing with Miami, right? Because I just came from Atlanta, where my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law they live.
I like the way you
They live
said
in
that. Miami.
they live in such a beautiful, beautiful suburb, beautiful home. Like these houses are just incredible. And I went for a walk. I like to run. I like to walk, but this time was just to walk, just to intake the community. Big Easy. There was probably 3 luxury automobiles there. There was a small Range Rover Sport. Another guy had like a Porsche, and then another person had a Tesla. Out of all that gigantic community, everybody else was riding on 15-year-old car, 20-year-old cars. It's just us. It's Miami, and I'm guilty of it. I have a nice car. I'm very guilty, but it's Miami. We're brainwashed over here,
It's crazy, man.
and
We
that
all
and,
know.
and that's why we don't have money. That's why we don't have money. It's all fake.
In some cases it's la la land, man. I mean, we know what happened in the 80s. We know what was going on with the entire country, but then people are driving Lamborghinis down here. It's a little bit different than that age, right? But you're right, man. In other places of the country, it's entirely different. Now, turning to the loan officer side, right? And the partnership with the loan officer, right? How would Chris step in, right? So we use obviously 3 phases to qualify someone, right? Income, assets, and credit score, right? The way that I kind of depict everything is that assets and credit, probably the easiest things to fix and come up with in order for you to get a mortgage. Income would probably be the hardest one, because even if you
Yeah.
get a second job, you kind of have to have a 2-year history with that. Chris, when you work with someone that doesn't have excellent credit, right? We always want like that fast turnaround. Like, hey, we just pulled your credit today. There's certain legwork that you have to put in. How does it work timeline wise, right? When you're working with those type of clients, right? I know time plays a factor.
Yes, it does. And that's a very important question, because for us, with the 23 years of experience, it's always our evolution in our process. Everything for us here is process oriented, because we want to give results quickly, and we want to give them the best results. So in 30 days, from when a customer signs up with us, in 30 days, they can see already a credit score increase. just by the strategic moves that we're going to be doing for them. You know, I know a lot of mortgage professionals have those what ifs, right? The what if simulator, what can we do? What can we eliminate? The what ifs only sees what's in the credit report right now. The what ifs does not see what can be added or what can be taken away from the credit report. So this is where the 23 years of experience comes in, that we see the whole picture and say, okay, this is what we have. What are we missing? Where's the formula? Because if we could plug this in or we could remove this and add another piece, it could be a big change. In 90 days, Big Easy, 90 days, they can see anywhere between 60 to up to 100 points more increase our clients. That's gigantic.
Hell yeah. That's great.
But the reason why we show those results, Big Easy, a lot of it is because before we say yes to a client, we do a thorough review on the credit profile. We see and we say to ourselves, can we really help them out within that time frame that they told us? If that's a yes, then we proceed. Then we do an interview with the client to see if they're going to be the right client, if they're going to be able to follow all of our steps.
So
and
important.
If we say yes, then we bring them in. Then we say, okay, here's a value proposition. Because we cannot help out everyone that does not want to be helped out, Big Easy.
They got to want
it. They got to want it. And they got to have that type of merit and want and say, okay, I want to really achieve this. Because if not, we're just spinning tires. So this is how we're able to help these clients out. And we're not saying that we want clients in the 680, 700 credit score and take them to 800. We have many of those clients. But we have taken clients from a 450 and put them up at a 640 within 6 months because they wanted it. They were willing to do the steps. And by doing those steps, now their credit's going to be great for a very long time because now they know the don'ts, that what got them in problems, and now they know the do's, what can be done the right way to continue. And with all that, Big Easy, I was talking to one of my dear friends and mentors. She was telling me that an LO can lose one client at least per month because of credit issues or DTI problems. On an average commission, that may be $5,000 to $7,000 on a $500,000 home, right? So times 12, let's say 12 clients. That's $90,000 that an LO is leaving on the table.
Just walking out the door.
If you're losing one client per month, and that one client is going to finance a $500,000 home, for this example, that's $90,000 that just left you because that LO, the mortgage professional, did not guide their clients the right way.
It's almost like a drop mic moment right there, Chris, man. How many times do we educate these guys on use your current conversations for future dollars? Use your current negotiations for future opportunities. It's okay to incubate someone, but that's why, to me, it's like your team that you have around you is wildly important, right? So we tell that to borrowers all day long. Like, hey, your team is important, right? Your realtor and lender are wildly important, but there's other factors to the home buying process. For you to have a resource like a credit guru, a financial educator like Chris, would mean that you have the ability now to incubate those clients, those present conversations, and start to create future dollars. Man, it's awesome. I've experienced it. I really have, where you talk to someone, they might not qualify, their credit score is damaged. And then a couple months later, you get a tap on the shoulder from one of your guys saying, hey, he's ready. Go ahead and help them find a home now. I mean, that's excellent.
Big Easy. And the problem is that we think as financial individuals, right? We think that someone's credit, when it goes bad, is because of something tragic. Oh my God, a repossession, a bankruptcy, a foreclosure, something bad. But no, A credit score could go from a 720 to a 620 just because of one late payment on a credit card that you have not used in many, many, many years, or a collection, a medical collection that you forgot to pay, or that medical collection, right, that bill went to an old address that the hospital had on file and you never got because you don't live there. So just that one little shift, that one little degree could turn a big upside down. That word could turn it upside down. Just that one small shift. And that's why I tell the LOs, when you look at a credit report, don't just look at 3 scores. Don't look at Equifax, TransUnion, Experian, and say they have a 570. I don't care about them. They have a 620. I don't care about them. No, identify why that credit score is where it is. Because one little shift to the right can really help them increase 30, 40, 50, 60 points. And now, Big Easy, now you're the professional. You're the one that gave the green light to the client, and now you have a client for life.
Heck, sticking on that subject, right, with the LOs reviewing the credit report, and I know that this is it's kind of like out of left field, but when you're coaching an LO, right, pull your credit, you're looking at the 3 scores. What do you recommend them like look at? What do you recommend them physically like hone in on besides the 3 scores?
I'm going to throw you the biggest curveball here, brother. And it's nothing that you think I'm going to say. So the number one item that myself and my entire team does when we get a credit report, we look at the names. For example, let's give this name, Jose Rodriguez. Very common name, right? So is it Jose Rodriguez or Jose Manuel Rodriguez or Jose
Jose de Rey de la Torre.
Correct. So why is that so important? Because now we have different AKAs. That means that now they can get confused by another Jose Rodriguez.
So there could be negative reporting.
Yes, correct. So from another Jose Rodriguez that lives near you, you can have that person's negative information or positive information, whatever it may be. You can have that in your credit report. So you need to identify what names are on the credit report. Very, very big. Junior, senior. This is very important. Oh, yeah. A lot of the times, we're named after our fathers. If our dad has some negative baggage and we lived with him, because we did us once upon a time, with that negative baggage could be on our credit because our names are so similar. And we're not using our full middle name, or we're not using the junior, senior correctly. So the credit report does not know. Remember, it's data. It's just pushing data, grabbing data, and just input it into a place. Item number 2, look at the addresses. This is gigantic. If you have an address you've never seen before, 2 things happen. Either your identity got stolen, or you're being confused by someone else.
Wow.
We had that right there, brother. It's the 2 items that we focus here. After that, we identify, okay, we're speaking to the right person. Then we look at the negative accounts and all the other stuff. But we ask them, is this account yours? Is this yours? Do you remember this? 80% of credit reports, Big Easy, have errors. 80%.
That's a lot.
If you're not training your LOs to read this properly, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Because the client may not be guilty for the crime that the credit report is saying. That's why they installed the Fair Credit Reporting Law. That's the law that we utilize to be able to fix these problems. Because if you don't help your client, or you don't fix your own problems, guess what you're doing? You're carrying that negative baggage, and when someone tells you you're approved at a higher rate. So now you're overpaying. Don't overpay for anything. And I'll leave you with something else. This was crazy what I'm going to tell you. I got called by one of my referral partners at a bank. So her daughter is getting confused by another lady, another person. So they went in, the other lady went in to try to get, some help, for medical. And they told her, goes, you cannot get medical help because this. And she's like, what do you mean? So they had her confused. They had the same name, Alejandra Rodriguez. Actually, this is true story, true name, Alejandra Rodriguez. And they go, what do you mean? That lady came to this girl's house. Like they found out where she lived, came to her house and says, hey, we're having a big problem. We have the same name. They're confusing both of us.
Wild.
Check this
So,
out.
man,
It gets even crazier.
All right.
Check this out. So my client's daughter goes to the pharmacy to go get a prescription medicine. The pharmacy hands her the prescription for the other girl.
Oh, that's wild.
And I told her, I said, that does not sound right. I can understand the mistakes of the name, right? Alejandro Rodriguez, I can understand that because now it could get confused by Alex Rodriguez. There's Alexander Rodriguez. There's so many variations, right? Because of the Alejandra. A lot of people don't use their full name. They use abbreviation. But I told her, I said, when you go to the pharmacy, they ask for your date of birth. She goes, we have the same birthday.
Oh, that's wild.
It gets even crazier.
Do it.
Their social security number is 1 digit off.
And that's my question. Like, doesn't it go based off of your social? How could they mix you up just by name? Like, wouldn't there be like a way to just separate them using the social, or that's not the way it works?
It's supposed to work that way. Easy. But a lot of these institutions, they don't do their job the right way. And they just blemish the client. This is why you have to. So if I was an LO and I'm building up my pipeline and I have clients that do not have great credit score, please send them to a professional. I would love it for you to send them to us, but if you have other people, send it to a professional. Let them monitor their credit. They have to monitor their credit. They have to have a website and not Credit Karma. Credit Karma is not a credit bureau. It's an information company. Get in Experian.com. That's the best website to use. And monitor credit and see that everything is being reported correctly. Because these individuals, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they make money by reporting good information or bad information. So I can be a bank and say, Equifax, Big Easy did not pay me. Report him. Supposedly, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, they have to verify that what this bank is saying is actually true about you, Big Easy. But they don't have the time to do that. They just say, okay, give me my $50, give me my $100, and I'll report it. I don't care.
That's crazy.
Yep, that's exactly how it works. It's a business. So now we're walking around thinking we have great credit, or because once upon a time we did have good credit, so we still think that. And then when we go and apply for a mortgage, or go and apply for an automobile loan, or whatever we need, we come to the realization that we don't have a great credit score. And now we're like, what do we do? And I don't want your LOs or an LO to say, I don't know what to do. Have a team. Have a professional team around you that now you can say, okay, you have this problem, Mr. Customer. It's okay. We'll help you fix this. You need to be the quarterback. Going back to football, you need to be the quarterback. You need to be the source of solutions. Yep. That makes you a professional, not an order taker.
Oof, Swiss Army knife. The future is Swiss Army knife. You really gotta have the expertise in everything.
Yep. A good Rolodex.
Man, dimes from Chris today, guys. Listen, talking credit, it's now fun. And it's not a real fun topic, but I mean, Sports Credit Advisor is his IG handle. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and forward pretty much all of you guys today Chris's contact information. But if you want to get a step ahead of me, sports credit advisor Chris, where
I'm,
else
I'm,
can they reach you? I want you to give a quick
I'm,
plug.
so I'm gonna give you over here. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So this is the sports credit advisors. Is the one for the our handle for our sports division, but I'm gonna give you here our other handle.
Perfect.
DC Financial _
So two of them, DC Financial _ Sports Credit Advisor. All right,
Yep.
reach out to them, guys. Any guests that we bring on, they are approachable, right? This guy is
Yep.
definitely somebody that we started as colleagues, man, and he's a friend.
Thank you.
Get yourself a team, right?
Yep.
Get yourself a team, one of those important team members. It's got to be a credit guru, somebody that provides that type of financial literacy for your borrowers. Chris, I'm gonna ask you one thing. It's more for me because, dude, you work for the NFL, man. Basically, what do you find? What do you find? Because I know you said you get them kind of before everything, right? But what do you find these guys like? What's the common first purchase, if you will, for like an NFL athlete? What are you finding? Is it a house? Is it the car? Is it the jewelry?
Car.
What are you finding?
It's a car.
It's a car.
And
I'm sure
car.
it's not like a Honda Civic either.
No, but it's some. So the teams that I go to, I tell them, I'm like, get something nice that you like. Don't overdo it, and then your second contract, then you can splurge. Because talking about football, they're professional expectancy, right? How long they're gonna play? It's usually 3 years.
That's wild.
And a lot of them, Big Easy, they're not millionaires. There's only a couple of the guys in that building that are millionaires. Most of them are thousandaires. They're making a lot of thousands, right? More than the normal. Their minimum contract per year is 750,000. That's their minimum salary. But imagine, Big Easy, if I tell you you're gonna have a career, you're only gonna make 750 for 3 years. That's it. That's a tough pill to handle. Yes, you're getting a lot of money 3 years, but if your brain says, I'm going to spend it, then we're going to be broke. So a lot of them, they get themselves a nice car, but nothing crazy, nothing wild. Then after their second contract, then they can splurge a bit, but everything for them, and they're thinking like this already, and it's great. I love the new generation. They're very, very outspoken. They have a big vision. They're already utilizing and saying, okay, what am I going to do life after sport? And the NFL does a great job by encouraging them to think outside of the sport. They actually tell them, leverage us. Right now, you're here, get the accents, build a team. So when you're not playing football, you can take off. Because imagine, Big Easy, if you're saving, let's say, out of that 750, after taxes, after everything, let's say you're saving $200,000 a year. And it's feasible to do. 3 years later, you got $600,000 in the bank. We could get, a job. Maybe we're not making 750, but we get a nice job and we got 600 grand that we can utilize, that we can invest. Now we have a great head start. And the whole thing is to create that head start. But the cool thing about this, Big Easy, we all have this opportunity. Because like you said, we have resources. You're a resource to me. I'm a resource to you. I have a big head start. You have a big head start. All the LOs and everybody listening to this are getting a gigantic head start. Because they're investing in themselves to be part of the show right now.
Appreciate the plug. Listen, guys, like I said, Chris is approachable. Chris, man, I really cannot thank you enough. Guys, go one more time, Chris. DC Financial, DC _ what is it?
DC Financial _
DC Financial _ and if you want to see him on the sideline, Sports Credit Advisor. Thank you so much for dropping dimes, man. This is definitely not going to be the last time that we have you on. Guys, I'm going to share Chris's resource with everybody on the call, on our YouTube, on our Facebook channel. All right. But like I said, if you want to get a head start, he is 100% approachable. Thank you so very, very much. Guys, Wednesday, it's on and popping. We're back with Home Team Huddle. What is it going to be? I'm not going to tell you, but I'll see you soon. It's your boy, Big Easy. Have an excellent rest of your day.